Hello everyone, I am Jamaica Romblon. Now I will discuss the dynamic models of curriculum development. This includes Walker's model, Skilbeck's model, Eisner artistic approach to curriculum development, and Pawelin's model for development curriculum. In different education settings, curriculum workers develop curricula and the dynamic models describe how they do it. The dynamic curriculum developed models are most commonly used in educational settings such as school. What is dynamic? The definition of dynamic is constant, change, or motion. Dynamic is defined or energetic or forceful, relating to an object or objects in motion. Energetic, vigorous, forceful. And what is curriculum model? Curriculum can be defined as a plan used in education that directs teachers' instructions. Many districts and schools use a tool designed to help teachers pace their lessons called a curriculum guide. But a curriculum and a curriculum guide don't just come out of thin air. Time and energy goes into the creation of these documents. This process is known as curriculum development. All of these things are based on curriculum model. A model is really a first step in curriculum development. A curriculum model determines the type of curriculum used. It encompasses educational philosophy, approach to teaching, and methodology. One of these dynamic models of curriculum development is the Walker's model of curriculum development developed by Walker. Walker was assistant professor of education at Stanford University, where he received his PhD in 1971. His specialty was curriculum, and his major interests are the process of curriculum development and curriculum policy making. So this is the illustration of Walker's model of curriculum development. Walker argued that when developing curricula, curriculum developers do not follow to the recommended strategy of the rational linear sequence of curricular items are prescribed by the curriculum. Walker was particularly interested in how curriculum workers really perform their tasks in the context of curriculum development in his model. As shown in his figure, Walker was able to identify three phases, which he termed platform, deliberation, and curriculum design or design. The first phase is the platform. Walker suggests curriculum workers to bring their own beliefs, knowledge, and values. They have their own ideas about how to perform out their responsibilities, and they are willing to discuss them with one another. The first phase is similar to the concept of Print 1993 in the context of curriculum presage. The second phase is the deliberation. In deliberation, it involves determining the facts required for means and purposes, developing alternatives, and evaluating their consequences. This phase also is responsible for analyzing the cost and effect of several alternatives and selecting the best alternative for the curriculum task they are about to do. The third and the last phase in curriculum design is the curriculum design or design, which includes planning, decision making, and curriculum development. Walker model is a dynamic and descriptive curriculum model. It reflects how curriculum planners and developers actually work. In addition, it avoids that obsession of starting with objective. The dynamic model can be confusing to other curriculum workers who are unaware of the curriculum creation methods. This technique may not be useful in the Philippines because most teachers follow other educators' curricula. Another weakness in Walker's model is that curriculum development tends to become stuck in phase 2, which is the deliberation. According to Print 1993, claims that too much discussion might lead to an analysis paralysis which slow down or delays curriculum development. Another dynamic model of curriculum development is the Eisner artistic approach to curriculum development. Elliot Eisner was a well-known curriculum scholar in 1979. He wrote a book titled The Educational Imagination, in which he discussed about how curriculum development should be done. As Eisner 1979 emphasized, there is a strong need for the development of a new theory that recognizes the artistry of teaching and is valuable in assisting teachers in the development of those skills. In his book, Eisner outlines how this static method might be used to curriculum development as well. In Eisner artistic approach of curriculum development, which include first, the goals and their priorities. In determining the curriculum's goals and objectives, Eisner 1979 emphasized involving participation in an artistic process to achieve consensus. This is similar to Walker's 1979, the platform idea, or the Squab's 1971, the deliberation idea. The second is the content of curriculum. Tyler 1949 defined the three sources of curriculum: the individual, society, and subject matter. When deciding on the content of the curriculum, Eisner 2002 considered these three sources into consideration. The third is the types of learning opportunities. On selecting learning opportunities, accordingly, educational imagination must transform goals and contents into high-quality experience for students. That is according to Eisner 2002. The fourth is the organization of learning opportunities. The importance of providing varied learning opportunities to different types of pupils through a variety of resources and activities also was highlighted by Eisner. Number 5 is organization of content areas. It emphasizes on cross-curricular organization of content. Number 6 is mode of presentation and mode of response. Use of number of modes of communication to widen educational opportunities. That is educational. Sorry for the wrong spelling. Number 7, types of evaluation procedure. Use of a comprehensive range of procedure at different stages of the process of curriculum development. The Eisner model is descriptive in that it offers a broad method that curriculum professional might follow, but it is also prescriptive in that it offers guidelines about what should happen when constructing a curriculum. The Eisner approach recognizes the contribution of various curricular workers. The approach recognized the varied activities that instructors conduct in school to achieve the curricular goals. The concept may be useful in establishing and designing higher education courses, a curriculum approach that is less prescriptive but logical enough to welcome faculty members. Artistic or creative means of developing their course is required. Curricula workers can always adapt and improve their curricula to answer specific problems and needs. The model calls for more relevant and responsive material selection and learning experience organization to meet students' different needs. Another one is the Skolbeck's curriculum develop model. Skolbeck developed this model in 1976. His concept of curriculum development is dynamic. This methodology allows teachers to start at any phase. This is the illustration of Skolbeck's curriculum development model. His model gives a dynamic approach to the construction of curricula. When employing this strategy, curriculum workers can begin at any point in the process. But as illustrated in this figure, each phase is interconnected and follows a systematic sequence. Skolbeck's model has 5 steps. The first one is situation analysis, both external and internal situation analysis. External includes educational system, requirements and challenges, for instance, policy statements, examination, local authority demands, curriculum project, and educational research, and also flow of resources in school, while internal includes pupils' aptitudes, abilities, and defined educational needs, teachers' values, attitudes, skills, knowledge, experience, and also special strengths and weaknesses. The second step is the goal formation. Skolbeck assigned a decision-making role to teachers, senior staff, and principals in the developmental objectives for the school-based curriculum. The third step is the program building, which comprise the selection of subject matter for learning, the sequencing of teaching, learning episode, the deployment of staff, and the choice of appropriate supplementary materials and media. The fourth step is the interpretation and implementation. It involves the actual implementation of the curriculum by faculty members or the teachers. It is where the actual teaching and learning of the students takes place. The final steps is the monitoring, feedback, assessment, reconstruction. And the last dynamic model of curriculum development is Pawelin's model for development curriculum. This model, as illustrated in this picture, was constructed by the author as one of the key outputs of his doctoral dissertation at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, in order to assess curriculum workers in developing curriculum that is relevant and appropriate to the Philippine setting. This guide has been created. So the arrows, curriculum source, are general elements that influence or affect curriculum creation and decision making at both the macro and micro levels. These curriculum sources are based on the model of Tyler 1949. The model shows the importance of curriculum sources in doing situation analysis. Curriculum sources help determine the curriculum's goals and objectives. These curriculum sources are also useful in developing curriculum standards. An arrow connects the curriculum sources in the new model. So, if you see the arrow, black arrow, that is the curriculum influence or specific factors that impact curriculum creation and micro-level decision-making. The concept of curriculum influences comes from the Stark and Latuca 1997. These curriculum effects might be classified as external, internal, and organizational. In the revised model, an arrow connects the curriculum influences in the development of curriculum standards. They are always considered in the curriculum development process. And by their own nature, curricular sources and influence serve as a foundation for selecting and making judgment regarding the many parts of curriculum including the intent, content, learning experiences, and assessment.
Hello everyone, I am Mary Chris, I'm Saavedra, and today I am going to report the Pawelin's model for developing curriculum. But before that, let's find out of who is Pawelin. Dr. Grigtabias Pawelin, he is graduate of Doctor of Philosophy in Education from the University of the Philippines in Diliman, major in Curriculum Studies, in which he has earned and awards the most outstanding research for his dissertation model for developing curriculum standards for preschool teacher education. He earned his Master of Education degree major in Curriculum Development and Science Education in Ehime University, Matsuyama City, Japan, and Master of Arts of Education major in Curriculum Studies in the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He is also currently the education consultant at Wix Publishing Company. At the same time, he has lectured in various universities and conferences on the areas of curriculum development and curriculum assessment. Pawelin's model for developing curriculum. It is intended to help curriculum workers to develop curriculum that is relevant and appropriate to the Philippines context. Curriculum sources are general factors that influence or affect curriculum development and decision-making in the macro level. There are two levels of curriculum development, and these are the macro level and the micro level. Macro level, which includes the general or overall process of curriculum development. The macro level goals are often key educational objectives that are multidisciplinary and can be achieved in many different ways. In these goals can be created through committees suggested by the department heads of derived from the state or federal level state of standards. While macro level, which focuses on specific pace or phases, or on specific contexts like school-based curriculum development. Micro level refers to a single course and includes that course's objectives, classroom instructional practices, students and instructor interactions, as well as anticipated beliefs about outcomes in the process of evaluations. There are three curriculum sources in the model, and these are the learners, society, and discipline. These resources are based on the model of Prof. Tyler 1949, in which Tyler models obtains the curriculum objectives from three sources, which is the students, society, and the subject matter. The learners as the curriculum sources is very important. Knowing their interest, needs, learning style, thinking style, culture, socioeconomic, status, gender, and other variables are significant data for developing curriculum. Pag-unawa sa nature ng mag-aaral ay nakakatulong sa mga curriculum worker upang makabuo at makapili ng mahusay na curriculum decision making. Ang pangalawa ay ang society. Society is also considered as a source of curriculum knowledge about the society, provides better understanding of the context in which the curriculum will be implemented. Knowing the culture values, beliefs, attitudes, political and economic system, and the physical environment directly or indirectly affect curriculum development because the learners are an integral part of the society. The third is the discipline. Understanding the natures of discipline is also essential in curriculum development. It can be provides the data for making decisions as to what contents should be included in the curriculum and how to organize the content of the curriculum. Curriculum influences are specific factors that affect the development of the curriculum decision-making in the micro level. Under the curriculum influences are the external, internal, and organizational. External influences are specific factors that affects the development of the curriculum decision-making. These factors are the society, market demand, government, disciplinary associations, and alumni. while external factors are those that are related to the school, like faculty members, students, disciplines, and program mission. The third is the organizational influences. Organizational influences are school factors, but they are more concerned with the governance of the program relationship, in which these influences provide important data for conducting situational analysis, according to Start and Latuca 1997. By nature, curriculum sources and influences serve as basis for selecting and making decisions about elements of curriculum. Under this is intent, content, learning, experiences, and evaluation. And here is the process of developing curriculum under the Pawelin's model. First process is the situational analysis. Second is selections of goals and objectives. Third is development of curriculum standards. Fourth is selections of content or subject areas. Fifth is selection and organizationals of learning experiences. Sixth is implementations. And seven is evaluation. And these are the processes of Pawelin's model. The first process of developing curriculum under Pawelin's model are the situational analysis. The situational analysis is the first phase, which starts with analyzing the context in which the curriculum is developed. The situational analysis includes a study of the different curriculum sources, which is under this is the students, society, and disciplines or subject matter, and careful examinations of the different curriculum influences, internal, external, and organizational. Situational analysis. Ito ang unang stage ng development curriculum ni Pawelin na kung saan kailangang pag-aralan at pag-isipan ang iba't ibang dahilan na makaka-influence sa pag-improve o pag-develop ng isang curriculum. So, may iba't ibang curriculum sources na maaaring maka-impluensya sa curriculum development. At ito ay ang students, society, at disciplinary or subject matter. The second processes of development of Pawelin is the selections of goals and objectives. This is the result from situational analysis. In some cases, if the government or the university prescribe the curriculum goals and objectives, such as features will be considered as part of internal or external influences that will be studied in the situational analysis. Dito naman sa selections of goals and objectives, dito ay pipili ka ng maaaring mapabilang sa pagpapalago ng isang curriculum. Ito ay magagawa mo pagkatapos ng situational analysis. At dito rin ay bubuo ka ng objectives at goals. Goals mo para sa curriculum development. At dapat alam mo din kung para saan ang iyong objectives at goals at kanino ito ilalaan. The third under the processes of Pawelin's model are the development of curriculum standards. These take place after the situational analysis and selections of goal and objectives. It is the first place of Glotern's model in 1998. It was developing curriculum standards, develop a comprehensive set of content standards by examining various curriculum sources and influences. The fourth process of Pawelin's development is the selecting of content or subject areas. This phase where the development curriculum standards are used to select subject or courses to include in the fifth process of Pawelin's is the selections and organizations of learning experiences. This includes selecting learning activities, organizing instructional plans, and selecting instructional materials to be used in implementing the curriculum. Number 6 of under the process of curriculum development of Pawelin's are the implementation. It involves the actual implementations of the curriculum by faculty members. It is where the actual teachings and learning take place. Lastly is the evaluations, the final phase where the goals and objectives of the curriculum, including the design and selections of all the curriculum elements, are evaluated. After the result of evaluations, the curriculum developing process will go back to situational analysis to re-examine the needs and includes necessary changes and demands from curriculum sources and influences. In these pictures, as we can see, the summary of the result of the analysis of the different curriculum developments in relations to the two dimensions, which is the prescriptive and descriptive. These all curriculum development models are based on curriculum researches and also based on certain theories of curriculum. There are four dimensions to this picture, which is the prescriptive, descriptive, dynamic or interactions, and rational objective. But as we can see, commonly of the curriculum developments are belong to descriptive and prescriptive. The linear model, standard-based curriculum development model, understanding by design, systematic design model, and Prince curriculum development model. It provides a direct and time-efficient approach to curriculum development. These models simplify the process of curriculum development such that curriculum workers will find it easy to follow. The linear models are highly prescriptive and rational. These state precisely where to start and the curriculum development process. Usually, they start with situational analysis or selecting objectives. The cyclical model of Nichols and Nichols, 1978, in the contextual filters model of course planning model present an interrelated procedures for developing curriculum. These models are prescriptive by starting with situational analysis. Yet, they are also dynamic. These models are applicable to school-based curriculum development. The dynamic models of Eisner 1979, Walker 1971, and Pawelin model 2011 are less rigid in applications and they can be used in school-based curriculum development. These two models reflect the reality of how institutions and teachers develop curricula. According to Eisner 1979 model is prescriptive, yet it is also descriptive, while Walker 1971 models is highly dynamic and descriptive. Each models of curriculum development is based on a curriculum theory developed by various proponents. The models are presented are reflections of what various authors and scholars believe about the natures of curriculum and the process of curriculum development. Each has its own rightful claim. We can always learn some principles from these models. First, when developing a models for curriculum development, there is always the need for a clear and logical process. Curriculum sources and other variables that are influential in developing a curriculum should be specified. Third, models should reflect how education plans and develops curriculum in any levels. Fourth, models should be based on curriculum theory. Fifth, each process in a model should specify areas where curriculum decisions are made. Sixth, each model should reflect the major phases of curriculum development, planning, design, implementations, and evaluations. It is also important that each model should be applicable in various contexts. Reflections on curriculum development. Curriculum development, as seen in the curriculum development models, follows a scientific and logical process. Each curriculum development models represents different areas of emphasis. Essential elements of curriculum development are situational analysis, selections of objectives, selections of contents, selections of learning experiences, and evaluation. Curriculum development models should be clustered into three: linear models, cyclical model, dynamic models. Curriculum development in the Philippines need to involve different stakeholders and teachers. There is a need to develop a model that is relevant and responsive to the academic needs and context of the Philippines.